Karim Benzema transfer to United dismissed by credible journalists, and we're here to obviously bring you loads about that. Anton Martial's situation at Man United, as far as United moving him on and maybe getting a new centre forward, has gone ahead to obviously be enlightened on by credible journalists and even I think Fabrizio Romano. Then lastly, we are having Hugill, who has gone ahead to obviously belong to a side is called Brighton something. He has gone ahead to obviously score on his debut and has gone ahead to speak out onto that. Guys, won't that be enough to obviously call this a video or a second video of the day? All that and more into the comment section. Rokan David remains my name, and don't forget to subscribe so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. And I want us to hit 17,000 subscribers for the end of this month, and we are left with like 15 days, a fortnight to that. So today we thank God for the gift of life, the Muslims, barakallahu fikum, and let's obviously jet it off like never before. And we are having the following coming in through from Grammy Bailey. He said, Man United are not currently looking to sign Karim Benzema this month. So he was the first one to come in through and obviously reveal to us that United are not really willing to obviously sign Karim Benzema this month. And then guess what? Jacobs Ben, tier 1 journalist, came out front obviously confirmed that to the public, that Benzema exit in January from Al Ittihad is being downplayed by sources. Senior PIF and ministry figures intent on keeping him. A move to Man United being dismissed. No approach from Chelsea to date either. They are still deciding internally what they want to do with the striker. So Man United and Karim Benzema deal is not being considered by the club of Man United. This is one of the biggest and happiest stories I've gone ahead to get today, because I wouldn't go ahead to obviously have any hope in Ineos if at all they went ahead to approve this deal to happen for Karim Benzema to come in through and really play a part into the side of the remaining 6 months of Man United, because it's said that it's a fool who does different things expecting different results. So if you are a fan of Man United and you see the only glimmer of hope we got with the coming in of Ineos to obviously take over the football operations at Man United, going ahead to do what the Glazers were doing 10 years back and even the recent past, then you would lose morale. If you go ahead and really sign in a striker at that age, I'll feel bad. We'd rather not bring in anyone, because we have no reason to get in a striker. We are playing 1 game per week, and even if Rasmus Højlund gets injured, Marcus Rashford will lead the line. So I see no reason as to why you bring in Karim Benzema, and I'm happy that United are really having further discussions not onto the coming in of Karim Benzema. His quality is really undisputed. He's one of the best strikers in the world, and we know what his career has all been about. And I think when they signed him, was it from Lyon or Marseille and Real Madrid, he has been a pivotal guy at the Real Madrid side. Now they've gone ahead to really respect everything has gone ahead to do, but I think he's not the right player to bring in. He's not the right player to bring in, and I'm so much excited that Manchester United have not gone ahead to obviously make what we call a quick move. You know, those quick fixes have really not gone ahead to work at the club of Man United, and we are at the level of admitting that we no longer need quick fixes. All we need are to get in players that are really of good quality, that can complement the team, and see to it that we build a team for the future. If Ineos is really serious at making us one of the best teams in the club, in the world again, as we were like a decade back, they need to obviously get in young players. Look at the structure of Arsenal. You know, look at the structure, how Arteta came in through. You know, Martinelli, Saka into the team. He brought in Odegaard. By the time I think Odegaard was 22 years. Then Gabriel Magalhaes was 21 years of age. You know, he has gone ahead to bring in players who are really great. And the only time he went in for Jorginho, it was because he needed that experience in the midfield, but he had Thomas Partey with him, and he had a plan to get in a player called Declan Rice in the summer. But at Man United, getting in Karim Benzema is really expensive. I had even downplayed or really undervalued his salary. He earns 83 million pounds. Sorry, it's 86 million pounds a year. Now, if he earns 86 million pounds a year, get 86. You're right? Divided by 52. 1. That means every month Karim Benzema earns 1.6 million pounds, meaning that if you are to get him in, we are supposed to be paying 800,000 pounds a week. Now, who does that? A team that is really being suffocated by the wage bill, getting in a player to feature for only 6 months and he's earning 800,000 pounds a week. You are not in the Champions League. How do you value all that? So, I don't really see all that happening. And I'm so much glad in that. Even Jacobs Ben has gone ahead and really put out a story about that. I'm really excited about this. And these sporting decisions are really showing us a lot of positivity at Man United. And I would love to see to it that a lot of things really continue to go on and really take us to where we deserve to be as a club of Man United. And such decisions are urgently needed. Trust me, if Ineos was not here, the Glazers would have gone ahead to go in and bring him in. Because one, he's having numbers. They'll sell they'll sell his jerseys, you understand? And they'll see to it that they obviously get in a lot of money, because for the Glazers, it's all about making money. And that's why, ever since they've been here, they've gone ahead to build United as one of the most beneficial sporting franchises in the world. That's why I saw to it that they're even calling in for £7 billion to buy Man United. That's what they're calling in for, because they to it that they're having one of the best income generating ventures in the world. So, as Karim Benzema is being thrown out of the window and he's not going into Man United, though you never say no, something can happen, Anthony Martial is a player to discuss about. And why should we, and why are we supposed to obviously put in a lot of discussions about Karim Benzema, about what's the name? Anthony Martial, is because he's the other striker that should compete with Rasmus Højlund, who returned to training, but he is not yet fit, as the manager told us in the pre-match press conference of Tottenham Hotspur. Then, a story coming in from France has confirmed us that unless the situation turns around, Anthony Martial will not leave this winter. Man United are also unlikely to exercise the option of extending his contract for another year. I'm 100% backing that. We shouldn't be extending the contract of Anthony Martial. If you've been a person who has been following this channel for a very long time, you'll ask yourself, what's wrong with Rokani? He's really one of those people that have gone to obviously show love for this guy. But I was loyal for him, but right now my loyalty has gone ahead to end, because last season was his last kick at Man United. He was given the chance to be the main striker, something that he yearned for a very long time, but he was an injury-prone player. Every time we needed him was not around, and Ten Hag got to know that it's not obviously gonna happen like that. It's obviously not gonna happen like that. So, Anthony Martial, for me, he doesn't deserve a new contract. If his contract is to run down, let it run down and let him go. I admit, let him go. Sometimes you have to make big losses. If we made a loss of Paul Lebile Pogba, what of Anthony Martial, who has been here for almost his career, ever since he was 19, he has been at Manchester United. Then Fabrizio Romano also had something to say about Anthony Martial, that Anthony Martial is open to leaving Man United if the right offer comes. He believes that something could happen in terms of important clubs wanting him. The situation remains open. So, for me, if Martial is to leave, let him leave, and let's obviously not go into a panic buy. I want us to obviously settle down and make a very huge decision on who we are going to bring in and who you're not going to get in. So this was confirmed us by Fabrizio Romano, and he was via the United Stand YouTube channel. That is Anton Martial. So that is Fabrizio Romano for you. Let's go to the other academy graduate of Man United. That is Joe Hugill. I came out and really told you that he went ahead to sign for a team, I think, in League One. And yesterday, he went ahead to obviously make his debut. And guess what happened? He scored. No sooner had he spent just a minute on the field of play. And after scoring on his debut, he said the following: "It was maybe not as quick, but I always imagine a perfect start for me. 3 minutes in to get the goal is very good. It was just composing yourself again to try to get the next one." So when you hear the words that are really coming out of this young man, you go back and really give Erik ten Hag his kudos, because he's trying to instill a different mentality into these players of United, especially the young ones, because he knows however much he tries to change the mentality of those grown-up players at the club of Man United that have been here for a very long time, their mind is stranded, and it's up to them, because for Ten Hag, he's willing to move on everyone who is not really giving them progress vibes at the club of Manchester United. But Joe Hugill putting out such a statement shows you that he's really a guy who is not satisfied. Would have gone ahead to be over the moon, and this time around has gone ahead and said, "No way, I'm looking in for the next goal." That is it. And remember yesterday when I brought you a story about Marcus Rashford, and I came here and told you that Rashford's response was really very, 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 very unbecoming for me, because how could he come out and say that? How could he come out and say that he was happy to score at Old Trafford again without showing us how gutted he was? And I went ahead to obviously let you know that when the youngster, that is, what's his name? When the youngster, that is Rasmus Højlund, went ahead to put out a post, do you know what he said? "I'm gutted, though I scored a goal," meaning that the hunger of Rashford and this guy are different levels. And this is what Joe Hugill has gone ahead to say about the club of Man United, his new club where he's playing on loan. And this shows you that he's really focused onto the next game, and he wants to obviously score in goals. And he said, "It's my home debut on Saturday, and I can hopefully replicate that goal again and get another one or two." So this is the mentality of players that we want at the club of Man United. We want players who are not really satisfied. You know, I always tell people about Mark Wayne Rooney. Wayne Rooney, he was a player who, even when he had gone ahead to score a hat-trick, he could obviously bang, his shoes on the seats of the dugout. You remember that very well. He couldn't even shake hands with the manager. That is Sir Alex Ferguson. So I want us to be having players whose hunger is really way better than the ones we're really having. And it's good that the young stars are really showing us that hunger, and they are being motivated by the man himself, that is Erik ten Hag. So guys, your thoughts on Karim Benzema transfer to Man United dismissed are welcome in the comment section below. What crosses your mind when you hear that Anton Martial is staying at the club of Man United until the end of the season? He'll be a free agent and look for another club. Would you want him to be sold, or you want United to obviously let him go on a free? And Joe Hugill coming out and obviously tell us what it means to be a player at that club where he is, and he has gone ahead to put in a lot of appreciations. So Rokan David is my name. I sign out for now. See you later.